Friday the 16th of March, about 12 o'clock, so I haven't made any videos the last couple of days because I've been mainly asleep and I've just not been able to stay awake long enough to sit up and turn the camera on and start recording. Like I've probably slept for 20 hours out of the last 24, and before that I was sleeping a lot. And I don't really have much memory of what happened the last few days, probably partly because I've just been asleep so much, and partly because my memory seems to get really bad sometimes and there's huge gaps in it. Anyway, I went into university on Wednesday, I know that, and spoke to the tutors about my project, and they seemed to think that I was doing well, so that's good. Oh yeah, and then yesterday morning I went to get blood tests from the nurse at the doctor's surgery just to check for any vitamin deficiencies or anything, because my diet is just, well, I don't eat any fruit or veg. Because it all gives me a stomach ache. Anyway, she put the needle in and couldn't get any blood. It was just, she said it was in the vein, but the blood, there was just a few drops of blood that trickled out, and then it was just sitting there in the vein with nothing happening. So she took it out, and this massive lump, like about the size of a golf ball, popped up on my arm where it was, and she didn't want to let me leave like that, so then she like strapped a tourniquet around my arm here, where she put the needle in, and like tightened it really hard so that the bump would be squashed down, and it kind of worked because the bump was squashed down, but my whole arm there just feels really bruised, and it's kind of a bit purple and blue, and then she made another couple of holes and eventually got one where she managed to get blood out, but she said it meant I was really super dehydrated, but I think I had been drinking more than, you know, the minimum amount you need, so that was weird. And I wonder if I've been so tired because I've somehow gotten really dehydrated. Anyway, I did also meet up with the woman I'm working with on this children's book project, and she was happy with the work I've done and said to carry on, and just had a couple of small changes she wanted to make. So I've got them all up on the wall. Oops, those top ones were earlier work. That one's falling off in the corner. But anyway, like I say, I've got a lot of work done on those. I've done 11 out of the 20 or so illustrations, although I've still got to paint them. And I'm going to try and work on that today if I can manage to stay awake long enough to do it. Hello, it's Friday evening, so I have been asleep for a lot of today again, unfortunately, but I'm going to try and work on some drawings this evening because I'm just losing days and it feels terrible. Anyway, I decided to test if I am getting dehydrated, and I needed some easy way to measure how much water I was drinking, and a while ago I bought this big blue plastic water container. So this holds just over 2 litres, and you can see there's only a little bit left in the bottom. I've just made all my drinks for the day out of this, including cups of tea and stuff. So yeah, it's just down to here, and it was slightly more than 2 litres, so really I've had 2 litres. So I also looked out the amount of water that an adult needs, and although it's 2 litres, it said that you get about 1 litre of that from your food. Hello, so it's about 9 PM now, and weirdly I feel wide awake. I've not been able to stay awake all day, but I'm wide awake in the evening, and I've noticed this has happened a few times recently. I just seem to be the most productive between sort of 6 and 10 p.m. And I can spend all day struggling to do anything and then just whip through a load of work really quickly in the evening if I've been asleep all day. So I don't know if I need to become nocturnal or something. Anything I can do to be more productive, I will do. So anyway, this evening I've been working on how I'm going to paint the images that I've done that are all up on the wall. There are more images to do, but I was just thinking to get into painting them for a bit so I don't get too bored of that line work process. So I'll show you what I've come up with. Hold on. So this is a sort of more sketchy fine art watercolour style, and I wanted to keep it quite loose and free, so I've kind of left some white gaps where there should be colour, and I've blended the line work into some of the colour in places, like let it bleed in and sort of combined them. And I really like how this came out, and this is more like how I want my style to be. So I think that I'm going to try and do a few more of the images in that style, and then show them to my partner that I'm working with. And if I just simply coloured in each object or item of clothing on the image, I don't think she'd be happy with that, because she'd feel like it had lost character. So doing them this way I think is better, but I might just change my sleeping hours just to see what effect that has. If I sleep during the day and stay up at night and work, will I suddenly be able to be twice as productive? Because if so, that's totally worth it. Anyway, gonna get on with some more work, so bye bye for now.